Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Holistic Market and Psychic Fair. We have a vendor spotlight today with John Schlapbaach of Visions Healing. Very thrilled to have him here. And actually, we will be doing a series with him throughout this year. Today, our topic is on reducing chronic pain quickly. And John will also be talking to us about heart walls, what they are, how to release them, and how that can impact your personal and business professional life. So he'll be on with us in just a second. The next Holistic Market and Psychic Fair is coming up next month now. It will be on Sunday, February the 23rd. And it is at the Laurel Packing House from 11 until 4. There is free admission, and we'd love to have you come down and join us in person. But until then, we'll be coming to you live with this vendor spotlight. So I'll bring in John right now. Hi, John. How are you doing today?
Hi, Carly. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fantastically.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. So, John, you've been on the show before, and
yes.
I like what you do. You're a regular at the Holistic Market and Psychic Fair. People have been actually, when you changed locations on Sunday, I had a lady come up to me and she was all confused. She's like, "Where'd John go? Where'd John go?" I'm like, "Oh, he's just over here." So if you're going to go see John in his usual spot, just remember he has shifted a couple booths over for the 2020 year. He's still there, and you can still find him for some treatments. So, John, how would you like to share with us about? Let's see. There's a couple of things we're talking about today. So your business is Visions Healing. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is how to heal chronic pain quickly. So let's start with that before we get into the heart walls, because I think that will go a bit longer too.
Right. Yes. And it's interesting because when it comes to doing this work, it's most of what I do is distant work. And so when we do something like this, it's great to have this live video going, because then I can actually get to show you some of the things that we're doing as well. Mm-hmm. So our topic for today, our initial topic, is how to reduce, eliminate, or lessen chronic pain. And I don't know, maybe you've heard about people that you may know of that have had dealt with chronic pain. Maybe they've been dealing with it for a year or two, maybe 5, 6, sometimes even 20 years. I know as a massage therapist previously that I would have patients come in sometimes and they would have a problem with their neck or their back or something, and they would tell me, I would say, when did this happen? Well, that was 25 years ago when I was in that accident, and I've had a problem ever since. So, you yourself may not be dealing with that, but you might know someone, or maybe your children are dealing with that. And what we discovered over the years was a lot of those chronic type of health issues can be tied into what we call unprocessed trapped emotions. And really what they are is when we have a particular event or an experience in our past life, quite often there's an emotion that's tied into that event. And if that emotion happens to be, let's say it happens to be anger or frustration or anxiety or depression, whatever that might be, when that emotion is unprocessed in your energy field, then it blocks your body from its natural ability to heal itself. And so over the years, Dr. Nelson, by the way, I'll just introduce, I work with a program called the Emotion Code Body Code, and developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a holistic chiropractor from the US, and how to release your trapped emotions for abundant health, love, and happiness. And you'll see there's a foreword here by Tony Robbins. Also, if some of you may be familiar with Greg Braden and others that are very much a supporter of this type of work. And this is sort of the latest in, we could call it energy healing. And so when it comes to chronic pain, what happens is if we have an emotion that's caught up in our body, let's say we have a problem with our shoulder, And we've tried everything, we've tried lotions and potions. We've been to the doctor. We've had x-rays. We've tried all kinds of stuff. We've had massage. We've had other types of therapy. And we're finding it's still there. It's not quite gone. It's still lingering. Quite often it's because of these unprocessed emotions. And what happens is these emotions get caught up in our energy field and they create these distortions in our energy field. And when that happens, the body was designed to heal itself, but it's much, much more of a difficult task when we have things that are blocking us or preventing us from healing. So I use a 7-step process for doing this. And I use what's called the emotion code chart. I don't know if you can see that there. It's called the emotion code chart. There's basically 60 different emotions that we tend to trap or hold on to in our body or in our energy field in a sense, because this really is energy medicine. And when we hold on to them, they can cause major problems. For example, kidneys can generate fear, conflict, creative insecurity, horror. Other emotions can be generated by the kidneys. And it's interesting, the kidneys have a direct connection to your upper back, your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, and actually they also connect to your lower back through your one of your major muscles of your core muscles of your lower back is called your iliopsoas muscle. And these emotions that are generated by these various organs or glands can end up in various muscles. They can end up in muscles, nerves, joints, ligaments, tendons, fascia, even in chakras. These emotions can end up there. So once we have these caught up in our energy field, it can cause everything from mild discomfort, achiness, soreness to really extreme chronic pain. I'll give an example. A few weeks ago, I was teaching a class, and one of the students in the class, she'd had chronic low back pain for, I think she told me it was 29 years she'd had this pain in her back. And so I invited her up to the front of the class, and we were doing some demonstrations, and I said, it may be that there are some unprocessed emotions that are contributing to this. I mean, you've tried everything. You've had all kinds of different therapies. You've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this. And there you are. You still have this. You deal with it every day. So I said, the best way to find out is we use a 7-step process. So the first thing I use the emotion code chart. And you might even be able to see this a little bit better. These are some of the emotions that we can caught up. If you'll notice on this, you'll see under kidney or bladder, you'll see dread, fear, horror, peeved, terror, conflict. So again, these are common emotions that can be stored in these or generated by these organs, and they can end up anywhere in the body. It's also tied in, these are also tied into the bladder. And the bladder connects to all the muscles that from the base of your spine to the top of your neck. The bladder has a connection to all those muscles. So if you have an emotion that's generated by the bladder, it could end up anywhere in those areas. So the 7-step process, I use the emotion code chart. I use muscle testing for applied kinesiology. I don't know, some of you may be familiar with that. Muscle testing or applied kinesiology dates back to the 70s, actually. That's when I was first exposed to muscle testing. It was with a master herbalist here in Kelowna, actually. Some of you may have known of him, Harry Sukow. And he was testing me for nutritional deficiencies. So talking to the mind through the body using these muscle tests. So that's when I first started learning it back then. And I was starting to test myself, and I ended up testing some of my patients and others for nutritional deficiencies. And it worked really well. And there's a recent study that just came out from Oxford that they studied the muscle response testing, and they found that it was as accurate, if not more accurate, than most of our medical tests that we have today.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, so actually today you said you were going to also do some demonstrations with people who'll be watching. So if you're interested in having John do a mini session with you remotely, type in the comments below there. Let us know what you have going on with you, and John will certainly come and do some work with you online here in our broadcast. That's a benefit of watching live. And of course, if you're watching the replay, type in the comments below replay, whether you're watching through Facebook here or YouTube. So John, yeah, I know this is what you do at the market too, right? This is what you do at the holistic market with doing the muscle testing and doing some of the chronic pain release right away with people?
Yes, I do just different demonstrations, and it all depends on what their issue they're presenting with. And
right.
It could be any number of issues. So I will do some live demonstrations for people. And in some cases, some people want a mini session right there, and I'll do a little mini session for them. Quite often I'll muscle test them in person just so that they get a sense of how this feels on themselves.
Right.
But mostly what I do is I call it proxy work. So that's when I'm moving my subconscious out of the way. I'm standing in and connecting energetically to your subconscious. So for example, if I was working with you, Carly, I would get your permission, first of all, to connect to your subconscious. That's number one, most important. And I would do testing for you. So
well, why don't we do that now?
Sure, okay.
Yeah, let's use me as an example.
Well, use you as an example, okay then.
Yeah.
So is there something that you're dealing with, maybe in some area of your body or something that's been going on for a while?
Yeah, I would say what always seems to come up with me, I have osteoarthritis in my left hip. So that and my left SI joint in my back gets aggravated quite a lot. So that would be...
So left SI joint?
Yeah,
right?
Left SI joint and left hip for osteoarthritis.
Left hip. So just so you know, I am not here to treat or diagnose any particular disease. That's not within my realm. I'm here to look for imbalances which could be contributing to these issues. So really what we're looking for more is our symptoms. Yeah. So it's interesting. So the SI joint, for those of you that don't know, that's your sacroiliac joint. Right. On the left side. So out of those two areas, which one tends to bother you the most, or are they about equal?
Lately, it seems to be my SI joint. It's more pronounced, I would guess, would be the word to use.
And when do you most notice it then, Carly?
Oh, it's like right now, all the time,
are
at
you feeling
night.
It right now?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
It's on the low scale from where it's been. I felt like a 1 out of 10.
So if you were to get up out of the chair and sit down, would you notice it, or do you notice it when you're sitting there?
Yeah, sitting makes it worse. So
sitting tends to make it worse. Okay, then.
Yeah. So when I'm up and moving around, it's pretty good. I can play pickleball, no problem. But it's after I do that it starts to creep back up on me. Like, might have overdone it today.
Okay, so after some activities, you'll notice it, especially, or sitting for long periods of time.
Yeah, sitting.
They say sitting is the new smoking, so it's very hard on our systems, right?
Now, and like that, we need to get up every now and then and have a 15-minute break. Walk around.
You know, when I was a massage therapist, I used to say, when does it hurt? Well, it hurts when I lie down. I say, well, get up and move.
Yeah.
And they say, well, it hurts when I move. Well, then rest. Listen to your body, right? So that's your left SI joint. So I'm going to show you how this works. First of all, I need to make sure I'm testable. So I'm going to use a ring and ring test because it's easy to see for everyone. Okay. And a ring and ring is just simply where we're asking a question of the subconscious mind. Again, we are working with your subconscious mind. And for most of you, your subconscious mind is your super mind. It knows everything about you from the time you were conceived. Every little thing you've experienced, touched, tasted, everything is recorded there. And it's not always in our conscious awareness. So in order to do this, we need to access the subconscious mind. So I'm going to see if I'm testable first. So my name is John, and I'm getting some resistance here. That's a yes. My name is Bob. That's a no. So this is a yes with some resistance. This is a no. And I'm going to check, am I hydrated enough to work on here, Carly? Actually, no, I'm getting a no. So again, have a little drink.
Yeah, me too.
And quite often that's a huge issue for a lot of people is dehydration. It affects everything in there. And so we can always test to see if you are and if it's an issue. But anyway, so you're nicely hydrated. So now, do I have your permission to connect to your subconscious then?
Yes.
Okay then. So can I act as a proxy then for Carly? Yes, I can. Do I have a good connection? Yes, I do. My name is Carly. Yes, my name is John. No. So now energetically we're connected here. So I always take a moment just to ask for a little help from upstairs before I start. You can do the same if you like. I'm just going to take a quick moment to do that for you, Carly. My name is Carly. Yes, my name is John. No. So now that we know that's going on, what would you say the severity of that issue is for you then, Carly, on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 is really severe. Where is it for you right now then?
For right now, yeah, about a 1. Yeah.
About
And so
1.
for people just joining our broadcast, just reiterate what we're doing here. John's doing a remote work on myself or my hip. If you'd like to have this done too, comment below in the comments and we'll get to you as well, because John's doing some mini sessions here today. Okay.
Yeah, so it's your left SI joint. So now that I'm connected to your subconscious, I'm going to ask about your left hip and your left SI, okay?
Okay.
So in regards to doing a session for you, what's the most important place for us to start? Is it in your left hip area? We're getting to know it's your left SI. So that could be radiating into the hip, which is very common, right? So I'm going to ask, I'm going to check your subconscious. What's the severity of this issue for you with this discomfort, this irritation that you have with your left SI, especially when you're sitting for long periods or after activities? What's the severity of this issue for you on a scale of 1 to 10? And 10 is very severe. So is it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? We're getting a 7 out of 10. That's what your
maybe I've become numb to it.
Well, this is what your subconscious is telling us. You know, generally that's what it is, right?
Right.
I mean, when someone's sitting at a 7, 8, or 9 and we're working on them, it's quite a bit more dramatic. But let me say, is there an underlying reason why you, Carly, have this issue or this imbalance with your left SI joint? And we're getting a yes on that. So is it emotional? Yes, we're getting a yes on that. So how many emotions are we talking about here for you, Carly? There's 2 of them. So again, I'm using the emotion code chart here, if you can see it. We're going to ask which one. There's 2 columns, 2 rows. Yeah. And we're going to, or 5 rows, we're going to ask which one it is. There's 2 of them. So to do with the left SI, so are any of them in column A? Yes. Are they all in column A? Yes. So which row? Are they in the same row? Yes. So they're in the same column and same row. It makes it easier when we're using our chart. So again, is it in row 1? No. Row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Interesting. Kidney, bladder. Remember we said the connection to the back, the neck?
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Row 5, column A. It's funny how that works, eh? We're being guided. So is it, there's 5 emotions, and I'm going to ask which one is this for you, Carly. Is it blaming? No. Is it dread? Is it fear? Is it horror? Is it peeved? So you notice we're getting a no for all of those?
Well, I can actually see your fingers, but I kind of saw your arms moving a bit more.
So I'm going to ask, they're both in the same column, same row. So again, they're in column A, row 5. And is it blaming, dread, fear, horror, peeve? You notice we're getting a no for all of those. So when that happens, it's usually inherited. Oh. So let me ask, is this an inherited emotion? Yes. Are they both inherited? Yes. Huh. So these emotions you've inherited.
Dad.
Now, an inherited emotion is an emotion that you receive either from your mother or father at the moment of conception. And these can go back many generations. You can even bring them forward and pass them on to your kids or your siblings. So how many children in your family? How many siblings do you have?
I have 1.
1 sibling? Okay.
Yeah, a sister.
And does she have any children?
Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Does she have any children?
Yes, she does. She has 2.
2 kids. Okay. So, and your mom is still around, or your father still around then?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see, which one is it? Is it inherited blaming, inherited dread, inherited fear is one of them, inherited fear? Now, we may find the same emotion can show up more than once, okay, and things that are related to different times in your life. So did you inherit this fear then from your mother's side? Yes, it came through your mother. And did she get it from somewhere else? Yes. Did she get it from her mother and her mother and her mother? How many generations does this go back for you, Cardi? Does it go back over 5, 10, 15, 10, 11 generations of mothers? This went back. I'm just making a note. This fear. And did that last mother get it through her father? No. So this one came for your mother. Okay. Inherited fear is the first one. And let me just corral these emotions here first. So what's the second one? Is it also in column A, row 5? Yes. Is it blaming, dread, fear, horror? This one is peeved. Peeved, P-E-E-V-E-D, as in ticked off. So one of them is inherited, and the other one is peeved. So again, you can trap an emotion at 3, and it shows up at 33 is a problem. So I'm going to ask, and you have, how many kids do you have again? Do you have 2?
I have 2. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask, when we release this inherited fear on you that's tied into this left outside joint, will it also energetically release on all these generations of mothers? Yes. Will it release on any of you, all of your children? Will it release on any of your siblings? Yes, any of their, and all of their children. So we could be talking hundreds of people here.
Yeah.
Right? In this case, it's getting energetically released on you, your mother, all these mothers, and all the people that inherited this in that family line, including your kids and your siblings' kids. So is there anything else we need to know in order to release that inherited fear? No. So we're going to release that. And how do we do it? We use a magnet because it's a pure form of energy, and we run it along the central governing meridian. Now, if I was there with you in person, I'd run it down your spine, but because we're energetically connected, we're going to just release this. 1, 2, because it's inherited, 10 rolls, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and take a nice breath on that one. And did release that one for you? Yes. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So now can release this peeved here for you? Yes. Is there anything else we need to know in order to release the peeve? No. Sometimes we need to know what it's about or how old. So we're going to release that peeve for you that's tied into the left SI joint. And any hidden peeve that's tied into that, or shared peeved, or
it just popped.
Yeah, anything
I just shifted and it popped on me.
Any of that is tied in. Even any trauma energies of peeved or psychic traumas or vibrational resonances. So let's take a breath on this one now. And did release those for you? Yes. Were they released to 100%? Yes. So now let me see, what's the level of severity of this issue that you have, this discomfort in your left SI joint on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0?
Yay.
So now that's down to a 0. So I'm going to have you just stand up for a second and sit down and see if you notice how it feels. Take a second to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You noticing a difference there?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Now, so what happens is when we release something, Carly, your body has to process that emotion now. Sometimes things process very quickly, sometimes not so quick. So that's there are emotions tied into that. So let's see what happens over the next few days with that.
Okay.
You notice the difference.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And as you were doing it, like I just shifted slightly and my SI joint popped, and it was like, oh, that felt really good. So if anybody else would like to have John work on them, type in the comments below. And we actually have somebody from Wichita, Kansas. Krista, welcome to the show. It's so great to see you here. The good news is that John does do distance work. So if you would like John to work on you as well, just like he did with me as an example here, just type in the comments below and where it is that you're experiencing discomfort or pain in your body. So thank you, Krista, for watching. And love that this is going like so international. That's what I like about these. We reach so many people. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great to be able to reach out like that, for sure.
Yeah. So we've got, so John is here with us today. He is chatting about the emotion code. He is doing some demos with people live here today. If you'd like to have him work on you, just type in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and let us know what it is that you have going on with you. It is an emotion code that he's doing here. He's also going to be talking about heart walls later as well. So the next Holistic Market and Psychic Fair that's coming up is on Sunday, February 23rd. It's at the Laurel Packing House, downtown Kelowna. That's BC, Canada. And if you'd like to come see John in person. Okay, so we've got another comment here. Oh, Krista's actually driving right now, so she's not able to make any more work to have done here. But certainly, Krista, when you're done driving, please don't be driving and like texting or anything. We don't want that to happen. And yeah, so John, we've got. Do you want to move on to the heart walls then?
We'll move on to the heart wall, and just so Krista knows that, and for other guests here, most of the people I work with people all over the world, so it doesn't really matter where you are. Energetically, this still works. So let's talk a little bit about the heart wall. Now, this is a favorite subject of mine. When I first met Dr. Nelson, I actually met him back in the 90s before he was even doing this work. But when I met him and took a seminar from him, he talked about heart walls. And the interesting thing is, I'm a bit of a heart person. Are you that way, Carly?
A heart person?
What do you mean? Person, it's heart-centered.
Oh,
kind of person.
Yeah. I like to try to take care of people and be really conscious and aware of what they're going through too. Yeah.
Exactly. And most people that are in healing professions as well are what we call heart-centered people. They're there because they really care and they want to make a difference, right?
What, John? I'm just going to interrupt you just for a sec before we get into it, because guess what? Krista's pulled over.
Okay, then.
Lower back.
Okay. Lower back. Okay.
Thanks, Krista.
Okay, right knee and lower back. Okay. So if I have your permission, Krista, then we'll tap into your subconscious and we'll see which one, your subconscious will tell us which one can we work with. And if you can also let us know what's the severity of those issues for you on a scale of 1 to 10. So do I have your permission then, Krista, to access your subconscious then?
We might have to wait for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
She's texting it in.
Okay.
And there's a delay too, usually between the broadcast and actually publishing. But yeah.
Okay.
So,
well.
Yep. There we go. Yes.
Okay. So here we go. I just make sure I'm testable. I'm John. I'm Bob. No. So can I act as a proxy here for then Krista? Yes, I can. Do I have a good connection with you, Krista? Yes, I do. My name is Krista. Yes. My name is John. No. Okay, so I'm just going to ask for a little help again. Just take a second here. My name is Krista. Yes, my name is John. No, so can we work on an issue of this chronic discomfort here for Krista? Can we work on that for her in our session here today? Yes. So what's the most important one? Where do we start with you, Krista? And your subconscious is guiding us. It's in your right knee. Okay. So I'm going to ask, let's check your subconscious. What's the severity of that issue for you on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? It's a 9 out of 10. So it seems like it's fairly severe. You might have had this for a while. I don't know. But let's see. Is there a reason why you have this discomfort, achiness, or soreness, or this challenge in your right knee? Yes. Is it emotional? Yes. We're getting a yes for you, Krista. How many emotions are we talking about? Just one. It's always nice when it's just one. Sometimes it's several. So which one are we talking about here for you, Krista? Is it in column A? No, it's in column B. Which row is it? Row number 1, number 2, number 3, row number 4? And that's interesting. Row number 4 here is what we call the liver. I don't know if you can see it. It's the liver gallbladder row. And it's interesting. The number 1 cause of pain in the right knee is a gallbladder imbalance. So there's an emotion there, and again, it's in column B, row 4. So let's see what it is for you then, Krista. Is it the first one, the second? There's a third one here. And this emotion for you, Krista, it's indecisiveness. Can you relate to that? Indecisiveness. And this can be generated by your liver or gallbladder. Remember, that can connect to your knee, shoulders, other areas in your body. So sometimes we need to know. I'm going to ask, because I don't know your age right now, I'm going to ask, sometimes we need to know how old you were when you trapped this, but do we need to know more in order to release it for you? Actually, no, we don't. So indecisiveness, if you can relate to that. So again, we're going to release that indecisiveness for you here, Krista. That's having an impact on your gallbladder, which is also impacting your right knee. And we're also just going to make a little assumption here. We're going to release any hidden indecisiveness for you as well, and any shared indecisiveness for you, and absorbed indecisiveness, trauma energies, and psychic traumas of indecisiveness. And these are just other forms of emotional blocks. So, and we'll have you take a breath on that one. And did release that one for you here then, Krista? Yes, we did. Was it released to 100%? Yes. So now what's the severity of this issue that you have in your right knee on a scale of 1 to 10? Remember, I think it was about a 9 out of 10. So is it a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2? It's down to a 1 now. I'm not happy with that. So let me ask you.
John, just to check in, can you see the comments that are up there from Krista, that it's her liver gallbladder removed, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Krista.
Krista. Well, isn't that interesting? Because here's something. If you have an organ removed, your body, your energy, it's still in part of your energy body. It's still there energetically. I'll give you a quick example. The hand that gets cut off but you feel that hand is itchy. If you were to take a Korean photograph of your energy field, you would actually see the outline of your hand is still there, just like a newt. So that's our energy body, right? So even if you've had an organ removed, you can still have gallbladder symptoms because your subconscious doesn't know it's not there, because energetically it's still there. So interesting with that. And we can get into that at some other time, talking about how what happens when you get transplants and how they impact you. So thanks for that for Krista. And what we'll have you do then, because it went down to a 1, I'm going to ask just one quick question. There's an underlying reason why we only got it to a 1. Yes. Is it emotional? No. So there's something else going on there. And that's when I'll bring in the body code. So that's for another call. We'll talk about the body code. But we've got it down to about a 1. So maybe if you can let us know in a few days how that's doing. Make sure you get up and move around a bit as well. So thanks, Krista, for that, and happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, and Krista is she's all on board with that. She understands what you're talking about. She is a psychic medium and light worker as well. Yay! Thank you, Krista. Yeah, so if you can let us know coming back to this broadcast on the replay, and just let us know in a couple of days how you've been feeling, just by typing in the comments, and we'll be putting the notifications on for that, so we receive them as well. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So her birthday, that's awesome.
Yes. And I tend to, it's funny how that is, because I do work on a lot of other healers for some reason. I tend to attract a lot of other healers. I've been in the healing arts for almost 40 years, so we need to heal ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves if we want to take care of others as well. Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're partway through our session here with you for our show. Heart walls. Do we want to go into that today still, or do that on our next episode?
We can always do that on our next episode if we like. We can go into heart walls because that's something that is significant, because that can affect your physical health, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual. It can also affect your ability to heal. It can also affect your success in life and business and personal as well. So why don't we make that our topic for our next session coming up here?
We'll do one again. We'll do one again with you. You have a series lined up with you, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to spend, like, I don't want to go over it too quickly, because I know, like, once we get into it, it's going to be there. We're going to be in there, immersed in it for a while.
Absolutely.
We'll do that on our next show then with you. So the heart walls will be coming up at a future date, because we did so much work here with myself and with Krista on demonstrating the emotion code that John does. And there's Krista. Yes, peace to you. Peace to you too, Krista. Thanks so much for being part of our show. So is there anything you'd like to wrap up with? Let's see, from your end, John?
Yeah, it's just that just for us, if you actually Google emotions and health and stuff, you're going to see so much stuff there now. It's just coming from all different directions. So it's a good thing to explore and understand that being healthy, you need to take care of your physical health, but also your emotional health. And that's a leading cause of a lot of our problems right there, is these unprocessed emotions. So thank you for having me on here today, Carly. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Look forward to seeing you at the next market as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to put up that the reference to the book that you were showing earlier. It's The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And that is what John has been working with and referring to throughout this episode. Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you. Connecting with you again.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And so as John was saying, like, the next Holistic Market and Psychic Fair that we have coming up is on Sunday, February 23rd, 2020. And that's at the Laurel Packing House, downtown Kelowna in Canada, BC. Vendor profiles you can see online at holisticmarket.ca if you'd like to get in touch with John. His website is visionshealing.com. You can reach him through there. You can reach him through Facebook. And thank you, everybody, for watching. I look forward to an episode with you next week. Bye.